Professor A.S. Khanna, retired professor from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay, India. He is now Chairman of SSPC India, a professional body focusing on surface engineering and coatings, and has conducted over 250 training programs on paint coating certification and quality assurance. In his 27 years at IIT Bombay, he focused his research on corrosion-related topics and surface engineering and has guided 27 PhDs and more than 130 Master and B.Tech projects. He has 5 patents to his name. Today, Professor Khanna will discuss the role of materials in construction and infrastructure. So delegates, let's welcome Professor Khanna.
The talk of sustainability and eco-friendliness, this has become very, very common today. Just like when we say there is a normal function and there is a function elite people, in the same way when we talk at a discussion meeting where we talk about eco-friendliness or sustainability, the meeting level is considered to be very high. So what is this sustainability and what is this eco-friendliness, which all of us talk very much, and how much of this we are actually using it in our actual projects and other things? That is I will say, a very big gap in that. So I'm specialist in paint coating, and in paint coating, the sustainability and eco-friendliness is very, very important because we use chemicals which are added into the paint system. Many of these chemicals are toxic to the body. One of the main ingredients, the solvent, especially benzene, toluene and xylene, which is a common solvent for 90% of the solvent-based paints. These are dangerous to lungs and they evaporate after the coating is done, painting is done, and then many people, they inhale that and have lots of problems. So today when we talk about sustainability and eco-friendly paints, the very first thing is that remove this BXT, means benzene, toluene and xylene. If you remove it and make either very low concentration of that or alternative solvents like water, that makes the eco-friendly coatings. In the same way, we use a lot of dyes, and dyes are always related to the carcinogenic products. So if we use organic dyes or special kind of inorganic dyes which do not have any kind of a carcinogenic products, that adds to the eco-friendliness and other. But today what we are going to talk about is the construction and infrastructure. What is that in construction and infrastructure which makes the requirement of sustainability and helping us to save our resources and at the same time make a structure which lasts long, and at the same time it gives you a better service. In a very simple term, when we talk about our homes, then today is an age of multi-story buildings. Now multi-story buildings, how much of eco-friendly products you can use, how much of sustainable products we can use, how much of natural products you can use, it is a very big question. But if you want to make a country house, you want to make a special house outside the cities and other thing, it is much easier. You can make a totally wood construction, bamboo structures and so on and so forth, and to a greater extent you can meet all these things. So this is in a common way we discuss some of these things. If you can just start the first slide, I have just written here in this thing, what are the sustainability requirement of construction things. In construction, sustainability assures positive outcome for society and the environment. Now this is thing which I have already explained to you. We are always looking what is the positiveness if I use X material which is made from natural resources. It doesn't require a lot of heat, it doesn't require a lot of energy, and it can be used as such. And when it goes bad and when I throw it out, it doesn't create much of the waste. So basically that is the advantage to the society. The goals of sustainable construction include sourcing renewable, recyclable and reusing materials whenever possible to avoid this thing. Now this is a very big challenge to basically, if you talk about our cement industry and a lot of products which are made of tiles and other kind of things which are made by the cements and many other products, can we make these kind of products from the the waste which is generated, cleaning the waste and then creating tiles out of that. And I will show you in the next slide how people are trying to use it. Adopting sustainable construction methods will reduce impact on the environment. When we say sustainable methods, basically it means where less energy is used to make such kind of a things. The specifications of the building should be such that they have a big impact on the project specification and on the long-term building running costs. I think I have already explained these points in some way or the other. So a sustainable infrastructure exactly in the same fashion is that which tries to use equipments and systems that are designed to meet the population's essential services. The concept of sustainable infrastructure reflects to the equipment and systems that are designed to meet the population's essential service needs. Ultimately, we are trying to say is that many a times very sophisticated equipments which require lots of energy, lots of construction activity and lots of machines to build those kind of things, they already consume a lot of energy for us. And if you use them to construct these normal buildings, you are wasting too much of energy in all this kind of things. So the examples of infrastructure are roads, bridges, telephone and other kind of a thing. The construction of the concept of sustainability is how to deal with the issue of inadequate resources, especially the energy. Now, energy is a big problem. Today, with a slight control on the oil coming from oil import or the oil process prices, we are already having costlier industrial activity because lots of energy is produced by the oil and various kinds of furnaces, heating processes are like that. And as it grows more, you have more and more cost on that. Technical issues such as the materials, building components, construction technologies, and energy-related concepts. Basically, it says that if you use these resources at lower cost, you can create eco buildings or the so-called in a category of green building. A commitment to achieve social, environment and economic success is the combination of the green building. Now, requirements to implement sustainable construction is innovative technology enhancement, waste management strategy and practice. Now, this is something which if you see from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you go to any big city, you go to any small village, heaps of waste things are lying there and getting ruined there and creating smells and all that kind of a thing. And I don't think today even 10% of the waste is really converted into the useful energy materials or even energy. Very recently, I heard that we are getting the waste generating power plants from Germany. I think in few months we are expecting that kind of a thing. So that is one of the solutions to use waste to convert it into useful energy. The commitments to the knowledge of sustainable concepts which are transferred to and adopted in the ways of working, thinking and learning to boost the stakeholders. Similarly, mitigation of the wastewater and enhancement of the efficient water use, which is most important requirement today because water is a shortage everywhere. Although during rainy season we have lots of water, but we don't have enough storage places where we can retain water for the whole year in many places. So what is the definition of sustainable building materials? Sustainable building materials are produced or sourced locally. Locally means depending upon the area, you have different kind of local resources. So if you create those materials from those local resources, then it is considered usefulness. If you bring materials from very far distance, you again spend a lot of money in transportation and things like that. So these materials are containing recycled and industrial waste materials and byproducts. Sustainable materials have a lower impact on environment and are thermally efficient. I will show you some example in a minute. Second, what is the need of sustainable materials in construction? The materials are moisture resistant, thus need much less maintenance. Energy efficiency. The use of sustainable materials helps to reduce energy consumption and durability. So the moisture content, energy efficiency and durability. Sustainable buildings are known to last longer and require less maintenance, thus save cost on the long term. Next slide, please. So here I have given you the next slide. Here I have given you the list of at least 9, sustainable materials. Bamboos. Now, bamboo is something which grows with the natural resources. And if you see some bamboo trees, almost 8 to 10 to 20 meters long bamboos, they can be directly removed from there. And the bamboos have, depending upon the place to place, they have very good strength. And if you really use this bamboo for construction of the houses and other things, then that is the real use of the natural materials. Precast concrete slabs, or today if you see in most of the parks where you have the children area, in this children area we have the cork based floors, so that if the children fall on that thing, that doesn't cause damage to their body. Straw bales, recycled plastics, reclamation wood, reclaimed recycled steel. Now my question here is that although I have listed these things, how much of these things can be used in construction in big cities? That is one of the question. Yes, remote areas, other things, they are being used. Now, some of these examples I have already shown in this picture also. You can see those, lots of these tiles can be made from this waste materials. You can make hollow woods, other kind of things by that. So a list of all these materials is listed here. Now, another important thing is there where we can make our houses safe and at the same time free from moisture and insects and other things. So one of the biggest problem today is the sound. With the increasing population, with the increasing number of vehicles, transportation, it is very difficult to stay in a house which is next to a so-called road. And so noise pollution is one of the biggest things. So today what we need is special kind of toughened glasses which have special layers of soundproofing kind of a thing, and seal-proof doors. Because doors are opened quite often around the day, and that is again a source of sound and everything. And third thing is safe thing from the fireproofing. Now, fireproofing is now one of the very important thing which today requires the first important certificate when a building is ready. So whether you have used those kind of technologies to make it fireproof or not. So this is an example by a company called sleek boards kind of a thing, and they make very special kind of a seals which can be applied on door and make these houses totally moisture free, insect free and fire proof thing. So I was just searching that there are few companies, and now some of these companies have an origin in Germany, but there are 2 or 3 companies who are now making these products in India, and there is a very big market of such kind of products. Now this is an example of a real eco-friendly house where you have used the stones, the filling materials for the floor and the wood, natural wood, without doing much of the activities onto that, spending much of the energy into that, and the bamboos and other kind of things to make a very nice eco-friendly house. So these are the examples by which we are just trying to consider, and these are really examples of I will again say eco-friendly houses, eco-friendly construction, where most of the houses are made by the natural wood. Then you have used light source, the sunlight, which is the biggest source of saving energy in the houses and everything. And also you can see nice open pole where we can create such kind of a thing which can be used for sports activities or get-togethers and things like that. So these are some of the things which I have just tried to illustrate. And next slide please. I think this slide I was explaining. So this is the example where you can create a very nice eco-friendly structure which can save energy and things. So that is the conclusion which I just says, that adopt smart and sustainable materials and technologies based upon the environmental laws, define sustainable materials based upon the requirements, adopt new materials using minimum or no natural materials, avoid wastage and go for quality construction, make use of natural resources such as light, air, avoidance of insects and moisture. I think this is very briefly, I have just explained what these things mean, and I hope I am able to just add very few % of knowledge to all of you, and if even few % of that is actually followed, that serves the purpose. Thank you very much.